Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Starkside. While you're here, I do appreciate it if you support the channel by hitting that like button. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe as well as the notification bell. So today we'll be talking about the Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home's Sandman. So here we have Sandman in this cool card packaging for Spider-Man No Way Home. So we get the same artwork here like we did with MJ and Matt Murdock. At the front, we get a logo for Spider-Man No Way Home. At this side, we get this nice artwork of the three Spider-Man. At the back, we get the same cool artwork here as well as a brief bio of the character. So if you want to read that, you can pause the video. And that's that. Alright, let's get Sandman out of the packaging. And here we have Sandman. Now before we talk about the figure itself, let's go over the accessories. So this wave has no Build-A-Figure, so naturally this figure doesn't come with any Build-A-Figure piece. So Sandman comes with 3 pairs of alternate hands, so we get 2 pairs of regular sized sand hands and 1 pair of giant sand hands, as well as a pair of sand sleeves for the giant hands. So looking closely at the regular hands first, so these look good. So we get fisted hands and open palm hands. And I'm liking the yellowish light brown painter plastic that we get here. So it does look like sand. The texturing is also great. So we get some small bumps on these pieces, like how you imagine sand. So that's great. Next up are the sand sleeves here. So these ones need to go with the giant hands, which we'll look at in a few moments. So these accessories ensure that the transition from the arms to the giant hands are as seamless as possible. So these look great. Again, we get some nice sand texturing here. And these have holes where the pegs of the giant hands should go into. And the giant hands themselves look really great. So like with the regular sized hands, we get some awesome sand texturing here. And if you've noticed, there's some variation in the yellowish light brown color here. So some areas here have darker brown shades to it, which I'd say is a nice touch here. I do wish we got giant fists as well. I think that would add more variety to the posability options for Sandman. Anyway, putting these together with the sleeves, so we fit this in here and then onto the arms. And yeah, so that looks really good. I do wish we got more sand accessories, maybe giant feet too, or like a tornado shaped piece or base for his lower torso too, or weapons like a mace or a wrecking ball or something. So this version of Sandman is a continuation of the Sandman that appeared in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies, played by Thomas Hayden Church. Although he only voices Sandman in Spider-Man No Way Home, which I think maybe because the movie was filmed during COVID and he may not have been able to go to the set in person but still wanted to be in the movie. That's also probably why the Sandman is said to be stuck in sand form, so they don't have to digitally recreate Thomas Hayden Church's likeness in great detail, which I think is both lazy and a smart move on their part. And starting with the head sculpt, I think this looks good. It is sand form, but you can make out the facial features, and I think this resembles Thomas Hayden Church as he appears in Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man No Way Home. I think they did a good job of actually capturing his facial features here, which could have been difficult given that he was stuck in sand form. Anyway, the rest of the figure looks great. So the entire piece here is actually made of the yellowish light brown textured plastic. So I've seen other people describe this as some form of chicken nuggets, which is actually hilarious, but it's not wrong. So maybe one minor gripe of mine here is they could have made the colors a bit darker, just very slightly darker. I think that could be closer to the sand that they were trying to achieve. Although I do appreciate the fact that they made some areas here darker to accentuate the sandy nature of his body. I did notice though that the back of the figure did not have a lot of those darker brown areas. So this kind of reminds me of the one with Ross's tan in Friends, where Ross went to a spray-on tan place and botched his procedure. So I do wish they went the extra mile and made some of the areas here at the back darker brown. But overall, despite my minor gripes about the color of sand here, I do like the look of this figure so far. Now let's go over the articulation for Sandman. So Sandman can look up that far and can look down as well. His head does rotate, and we do get some nice neck pivot here. His arms move upward that far, just above the 90-degree mark. That's great. And he can bend them down all the way. His shoulders rotate 360. We get a bicep swivel. Pinless double jointed elbows, so that looks nice. His wrists do rotate along with the sleeves and can move up and down, so we get the same wrist articulation for all his alternate hands. He has a diaphragm pivot that allows him to move sideways, bend forward, backward, and rotate side to side. His legs can kick forward very far, but not so much backwards. His hips move outward very far. He has an upper thigh cut, pinless double jointed knees. His ankles move up and down, and he has ankle pivot as well. Now for some figure comparisons, here's Sandman next to the Marvel Legends Far From Home upgraded suit Spider-Man, and I think the heights here line up pretty well. And here's Sandman next to a fellow Spider-Man villain, Mysterio. And here's Sandman next to the only other figures from this wave that I've reviewed so far. We have MJ and Matt Murdock. And I'm really excited to review the rest of the wave here, so next up is the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So that's my review of the Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home's Sandman. So despite the lack of more sand accessories, I think this figure has great sculpt and great articulation. So I do like this figure. And if you're wondering where I got this figure, so I pre-ordered this Spider-Man No Way Home wave from Collector's Quest Philippines. So if you want to check that out, there's a link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this figure. Let me know what you think of my review. Please leave a comment below. And if you like this video, I do appreciate it if you support the channel by hitting that like button. And if you still haven't, please hit that subscribe as well as the notification bell. You can also follow me on social media, links in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.